dismembered, decapitated. It's probably because you're trying to hide something and make sure certain details don't come out.
Tend to Life with Elise.
Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Elise and this is Tend to Life. And if you're brand new, stopping by for the first time, let me just tell you, this is the place where we talk all things true crime. If you're a returning subscriber, you already know the deal, and welcome back. I'm channeling, I don't even know what I'm channeling today, guys. I let my hair air dry so it looks a little wild. I've got Halloween parked in the corner over here because I'm trying to get it set up before the baby arrives, but my husband is like, it's August, Annie, you need to chill. You can't set up Halloween. So I have it now sequestered in my office just so that he doesn't see it and realize, that Halloween is happening sooner than he thinks. He said September 15th. It's probably going to be September 1st because I got to get it done. I got to get it done. So excuse the mess. I know it's probably distracting, but it's hurting me more than it's hurting you. I promise you that. Today we are going to go over brand new updates in the case of Tristyn Bailey and Aiden Fucci. For those of you who aren't familiar with the case, this was a brutal slaying of a young teenage girl that took place around Mother's Day of this year. And I will link that playlist for you below so that you can get caught up if you're not familiar with the case, but I would imagine most of you are because we have talked about it a lot on this channel. Before we jump right in, let's have a quick word from today's sponsor, Magellan TV. You guys have heard me talk about Magellan a million times because you know I am absolutely obsessed with this service. Magellan is a documentary streaming service with over 3,000 documentaries available. And me personally, because I'm gearing up for Halloween, what I have in my queue right now is Body Snatchers of New York because it is super spooky about men taking the bodies from funeral homes and paying them off. It takes place in New York, which I lived in New York for many, many years. So that's near and dear to my heart, and I am ready to get this spooky season started. The best part about Magellan is that you can stream from any device, anywhere, anytime. And because Magellan is such a beautiful partner of the Tend to Life channel, they are offering you a free month-long trial. All you have to do is go into that description box below and click on the link. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't tried it yet, you need to try it. You are going to love it. And especially, what better time than when we are right on the cusp of going into Halloween season? It is spooky time, it is documentary time, and it is true crime time. So take a look if you haven't already. And thank you so much, Magellan, for sponsoring today's video. We love you here over at Tend to Life. Now let's jump into these case updates. As I mentioned, the case that we're going to be talking about today is that of Aiden Fucci and Tristyn Bailey, and it was the brutal slaying that took place back around Mother's Day of this year. And some new updates have been released in regards to the discovery and the evidence. So we have new footage that has not been seen before. We get a little bit clearer picture of all of the different players involved because, as many of you know who've been following this case, Aiden's mother, Crystal Smith, has also now been charged in connection with this case for evidence tampering. So we get a little bit more of a visual firsthand look as to some of the key milestones that we know of so far in this tragic case. 14-year-old Aiden Fucci is currently in custody as he awaits trial on first-degree murder charges of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, who was a classmate of his and whose body was found on Mother's Day of this year, less than just half a mile from Aiden's home. And this case was extremely tragic. The slaying itself, over 114 stab wounds, 49 of those wounds were defensive. It was truly brutal. And if you aren't familiar with this case, again, head to that playlist below. But for those of you who have been following the case, many of you may recall that the morning leading up to the discovery of Tristyn's body, Aiden was on his way to speak with investigators, and he took a now infamous photo in the backseat of this police car that he posted to Snapchat. And in that photo, he can be seen throwing this peace sign up, looking super smug in my opinion, and a caption alluding to, "Has anyone seen Tristyn? Where are you at?" Just the most classless, tactless, unremorseful thing that I've seen in a long time. And I've seen a lot and I've covered a lot. Well, now, as I mentioned, new footage has been discovered as part of the discovery process. This new footage includes video that Aiden took on his phone and uploaded to Snapchat in addition to that infamous photo, which we've all seen. It's actual audio and video recording. We also get surveillance footage from that fateful night and the walk in which those two teens took that night. I want to be clear, it has not been confirmed that the two people pictured in this footage are in fact Aiden and Tristyn. It is highly suggested and suspected that it is due to the timing and the path, but I want to be clear, it has not been 100% confirmed yet. But we do see that footage of them walking through that Durbin crossing area, and if you remember, we outlined that entire map here on this channel. We also have footage of a single person, one person, an hour later fleeing the scene and running down that similar path. And we get footage inside the home. And that is key footage because, as I mentioned, Aiden's mother has now been charged in connection with this case for tampering with evidence. And we now have the footage of her grabbing his blood-soaked jeans, taking them to the bathroom and scrubbing them, allegedly trying to attempt to destroy evidence. So let's start with that first piece of footage. And the first piece is a 2-minute video clip recorded from a neighbor's home that shows the two people walking on the sidewalk in that subdivision of Durbin Crossing at approximately 12:15 a.m. on May 9th. The second clip then shows someone running alone in the opposite direction, which you can deduce is coming away from the scene, about an hour later, or a little over an hour later. And as I mentioned, if you recall, we mapped out the timeline of that night on this channel where we include the path that they walked, the entry point into the wooded area where the crime took place, the timing in which Aiden fled the scene, and you can find that video here. We also get a glimpse of who appears to be Aiden returning home that evening and walking into his house holding those shoes, which we also know were later tested and found to have DNA on them. In the second key piece of evidence, it's an actual 16-minute clip of inside the home. And this was recorded on surveillance footage that was actually a camera inside the home. And here at one point, you can see his mother, Crystal Smith, running upstairs, picking up some clothes from a room, including a pair of jeans, the suspected bloody pair of jeans, and then going into the bathroom and scrubbing them clean. Now, remember, this is suspected to be Crystal Smith, Aiden's mother, cleaning the evidence off of those jeans because we do know that even after the attempted cleaning of them, there was still blood residue found, and there was also blood found in the sink drain of that bathroom. And as we go into the final pieces of footage that were released in this discovery process, it is the Snapchat videos. And personally for me, I feel like some of these videos are even more disturbing than the footage itself of them walking and then Aiden fleeing the scene and returning home and the mother allegedly cleaning the pants. I mean, because in this footage, which I'm about to show you, it just shows to me at least, again, that there is no remorse, not a shred of remorse from Aiden, that he actually appears to think it's very cool that he's in this cop car. He's like cursing and acting tough and being like, why are we in this cop car? Like you don't know, obviously. And he's with a friend in the car, and it irks me and it really rubs me the wrong way. And I'm going to show you guys that here. So this shows that cell phone footage that was uploaded to Snapchat. And the first one shows Aiden and a friend of his in the back of the patrol car. And Aiden says, having fun in an effing cop car.
Having fun in a cop car.
Then saying, hey, what's up, guys? Tristyn, if you effing walk out and then damn, like it cuts off, you can't hear what he's going to say.
We're having fun in a fucking cop car.
Yep. Tristyn.
What's up, guys?
Yep.
Tristyn, if you fucking walk out the damn...
When you see this in a month.
I personally believe that the reason it was cut off is because he was going to say something along the lines of, if you walk out of the damn woods, or if you do this, like, and caught himself, because at that point, remember, he wasn't supposed to know that she was in the woods or that her body was in the woods. And so I believe that's why that cut off, that he was like, oh shit, kind of a Freudian slip, like, like I'm about to get myself caught up here. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think too in the comments and in the live chat of if you believe that that was possibly a slip up on his part. There's a couple of other pieces of footage and clips where it shows Aiden very briefly, but it shows the contents of the police car, which contained a rifle and tactical gear. And again, it's just he looks to me with his facial expressions, with what he's saying, very smug and very like cool guy. Like, I think it's cool to be in a cop car and be arrested, like tough, which it's like, you are either a psychopath which is high probability in my opinion, or you are a loser who thinks this is cool. Like, either way, it's not boding well for Aiden. Like, it's just, I don't know why this footage is just really sticking with me the wrong way. I don't like it at all.
It's in a cop car, cuz. Tripping, dude.
So for those of you who haven't been following the case, Aiden goes in this cop car, he goes with investigators, and he is questioned because he was the last known person to be with Tristyn the evening before, and he starts answering questions. And shortly after he goes with them, Tristyn's body was ultimately discovered in that wooded area with the 114 stab wounds and 49 of those wounds being defensive wounds. So of course, this was ruled as a homicide. And while speaking with detectives, Aiden acknowledged walking with Tristyn and says that they got into an argument, and this is according to his arrest affidavit, that they got into an argument and that he admits to forcefully pushing Tristyn to the ground and causing her head to hit the ground. Do we know if that's true or not? Not entirely. Could it be that what started as an argument, absolutely, then she went to the ground and he executed this master plan of his, which he had been talking about for weeks and months leading up to this. He didn't identify who the victim was, but he confided in his friends that he was planning to take the life of somebody by knife in a wooded area. So was this a moment of opportunity, or is that whole piece of it where they got into an argument and he forced her to the ground made up and he really blitz attacked her? We're not 100% clear at this point. Documents do state that Aiden changed his story multiple times, but that he also made several admissions in the course of that interview. And as I mentioned, multiple witnesses came forward providing statements that Aiden had told people he did plan to kill somebody, and by taking them to the woods and stabbing them to death. And he had even given himself a time marker of 30 days to execute this plan. And again, we go into all the great detail of this case and of his behavior and his hearings on the channel. So if you want to get fully caught up with all those details, just head to the playlist and you can watch all of that. And it also includes the timeline in which we mapped out the path and the entry point to the woods, the boats, all of that stuff. So what's next now for Aiden and his mother, Crystal Smith? They're both scheduled to have pretrial hearings on September 1st. And there's been a couple of things that have been delayed due to COVID, of course, due to the overbooked system. So we'll see if that date actually holds true, but that's in just a few days. So hopefully we do learn more at that pretrial hearing. I will, hopefully if they are streaming it, I will be able to stream it with you guys so we can talk through it live as it's happening, assuming I'm not in the hospital delivering a child. So if you want to make sure that you're updated of when we go live with these updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and turn your notification bell to on. Even in any event, I will keep you updated and posted on what comes out of those hearings and what we learn, and if new evidence in the discovery process is released to the public that I can share with you. And as always, if you want more access and you want to join our 24/7 true crime group chat, head over to Patreon so you can download the Discord app and you can talk all things true crime with us, case updates with us in real time. So I will leave that link below for you guys as well. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today, guys, on this case update. I hope you enjoyed the coverage, and I appreciate you bearing with me through this like mixed Halloween crazy hair message that we have going on today, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and until the next case, stay safe. Bye.